Welcome to Adventurers Wanted. Woo! Right, we are in the 5th hour of Adventurers Wanted Rebellion, which is our second Edinburgh show. There we go. Sorry, it's 10:30 in the morning. My name's Chris. I will be your Dungeon Master for the next 4 hours. I don't know if you guys are booked for 4 hours, but you can rebook for every other hour until 2:30, and therefore be here for 4, if you want to be. It's up to you. But enjoy the first hour, at least. Before we dive into the next part of the adventure, I'd like to remind you that this performance is a relaxed performance. There is a relaxed attitude to sound and movement in the audience for the benefit of anyone who'd have difficulty being still or silent for the hour. The lighting will stay like this, and there will be some background music, but there will be no loud, sudden noises except for my voice. If you need to take a break for any reason, you can head out through the door and come back in any time during the hour. If you need help with anything during the show, Nemo is over there and give a wave. They'll be able to help you with anything, catch their eye, or head over to them, and they're there to help. This hour we're also joined by Tommy, who is our wonderful BSL interpreter, who'll be signing this hour's game. And literally signing fantasy concepts that don't have sign language variants. So if you are into your sign, it's going to be pretty epic and new and exciting. So that's for you. Right. Now, here's to the game. We are playing a tabletop role-playing game. What does that mean? It means the people to my left and right are playing characters in a fantasy universe. They perform as their characters, or sometimes out of character, talk about what they're going to do, and I play absolutely everyone else and everything else in the universe. So everything they encounter, every person, every place, everything, I will either narrate or voice, and tell the story with them. So, the story so far. We are travelling to a land called Deriland. Deriland has, 5 years ago, been struck by a terrible calamity. A elder god appeared in their world, tore it to pieces, and then left, leaving a broken society, still being run by remnants of a cult to said god. However, in the last game, yesterday, the heroes managed to save their town from the cult, freeing it from oppression and slavery, and are now considering their options about what to do next. However, before we dive in, let's meet our players. Starting on my right, can you give us your name, your character's name, a bit about your character, and what pronouns they prefer, please?
Hello, my name is Catherine Wilson. I am a writer and performer from Edinburgh, but I am also quite a D&D nerd. My character, I think I should let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Dottie Hath, and I'm a dragonborn druid. I run a lovely little tavern where I make my own scones with rosemary. And, I love to help other people, so I thought I would come along and, show those slavers a thing or two and just see what I can do for my local community.
And what pronouns does Lottie prefer?
She or her.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. I'm from Edinburgh and I'm a returning player from last year for Adventurers Wanted. Woo! And today I'm going to be playing Lavender, who is a tiefling druid and has no joy in life at all whatsoever. None. She and her, please.
Lovely.
We are well suited to each other.
It's a good thing you're sat together.
Hey there, I'm Chaz, and I should be on vocal rest, but I love D&D too goddamn much. And I'm playing Kid Matt John. He's a Fearbolg, which means he's a 6.5 feet tall, sort of blue-skinned cow man. And I'm a paladin, which is great, just healing magics and hitting things with a great sword, just having a great time, trying to get through to the end of the day. And he, him pronouns, please.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Finally, Mick.
Hello, I am Mick, or Michael Patrick. I am an actor-writer from Belfast. I have never played Dungeons & Dragons before in my life, so I'm horribly excited and
Cherry being popped.
absolutely terrified. I have listened to a few podcasts before,
Good.
so that's my research done.
Excellent.
I'm playing Frank, who is a bardic gnome, I believe. Essentially, I went on a character creation sheet at home and thought I'd try and create something, looking at what was cool, and realised I accidentally created a leprechaun. So I kind of went there, I was like, that sounds cool.
Now that you've said it, can I say it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and be playing against stereotypes, and I think he's a grumpy little character. He's trying to err towards Frank from It's Always Sunny and less towards Lucky Charms. Let's see how we go.
So we've got two very upbeat people and two very downbeat people. Great, good, lovely. And what pronouns does Frank prefer?
Oh, he, him, please.
Thank you. Excellent. Before we get started, one final thing. You will see in front of us various dice. We will use a 20-sided dice, or as my fellow DM Leo likes to say, an icosahedron. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you. Basically, you roll a dice to see how well you do something. Your characters are better at other things, so they get to add numbers to it. It's the maths side we try and skip over real quick, so the story's more fun. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, do grab us, and we'll happily talk you through how things work. Anyway, let us kick off. Can I have some adventurous, happy music, please? Yeah, they've freed the town. I mean, no, dark. Oh no, it's awful. They're freed the town. Oh,
I'm just
not good.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Was anyone here an active participant in freeing the town?
No.
Just putting that out there.
I think you were somewhat involved for the first prison break, weren't
That's
you?
right.
Yeah.
I threw a pickaxe through a guy's head.
You did. That happened. And at this point, the town of Holmwood is slowly being cleaned up from some of the refuse and detritus left over after the big battle that destroyed the town hall by making it explode. That happened the day before. People are starting to come out of hiding. Some were hiding away in town, potentially where some of you guys were. Others were enslaved and working in a large mine just outside of town, mining ore. Why don't we kick off by having you guys meeting up in the town square with various other people to talk about what happens next? There's a man called Simon there who is calling people together, as well as other various NPCs who we will not name because they're not here right now.
Do I know everyone else?
This is where you all start to meet each other, I think.
Okay.
You're involved in something together, put it that way.
Well, it's a real happy day today.
Don't know about happy.
Is it?
I brought my broom. Thought I could sweep up a little, make the place look nice again.
Can you roll me a dexterity check, please?
That is 11.
11. Your broom is doing a fantastic job of cleaning some of the detritus from a town's worth of detritus. But there's a nice little path forming, making a nice little...
Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly.
I mean, definitely A for effort.
Why?
Why not?
I could give you a lot of reasons. like right now, like that building's that was on fire. Is the broom? Okay.
Hey, you seem really observant. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
You know what they say? Takes more energy to frown than to smile.
Hooray.
Cool. Simon, a young man with a blonde goatee and blonde hair, not as blonde as mine, is beckoning you all over. There is a small crowd forming.
Oh boy, I hope it's a magic show.
It's not. No. Right, so clear the town. It's a good start. But we're going to need some allies if we want to take the fight to the cult in the long run. So has anyone got any bright ideas about anyone nearby we could call on? Anyone we could ask for help?
Do I have any idea?
No.
No.
From the back, some people start whispering, and if anyone can roll a perception check for me, please. All four of you. That's a 20-sided dice. The blue one.
Oh, that's a natural one.
No way, me too!
I think.
16.
I don't know where I am. I don't know there's people around. I'm just like,
Well, we've established that you're sweeping.
oh, yeah, I'm just real focused.
Just real focused on that sweeping, and you're probably.
I'm just trying to find the magic show. What is it, cards, cups and balls?
Nick, what'd you roll?
5.
5. What did you?
16.
16, right.
Real range. Wow.
As Simon's trying to get everyone's attention and failing miserably because there's no magic apparently, you in the back hear two dwarves whispering to each other.
I just turn right around and I just go, "What are you talking about?"
What concern is it to you?
I'm a tall, half-demon person. What are you talking about?
Roll intimidation check, Jesus.
16 again.
Ooh. All right, fine. I mean, the rest of the clan's up in the woods.
Hey, blonde guy. Hey.
Yeah.
He's apparently got family, folk or something.
You got family nearby? Yeah, they're like up in the mountains. There's a whole bunch of dwarves we could go and talk to. That might make sense. Right. Okay. Well, why don't a group of us get together and head up and see what's happening up there and whether they need assistance and if they can come with us.
Oh boy, a hiking trip.
You seem the type to want to walk long distances and go up mountains because you're quite tall, weren't you?
That's right. I'm a tall fella.
How tall are you?
6'5" or 6'7". I never decided, but yeah, significant.
And cow, bovine.
And a blue-skinned bovine.
And a blue-skinned bovine.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right then. Look, you seem to have some kind of flair for this stuff. Do you want to get together a team and then maybe organise taking them all up the mountain?
Sounds like you need me to round up a posse.
I mean, I've never heard that turn of phrase before because this is a fantasy universe. But sure, yeah, that sounds like a posse.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down. Posse.
It's P-O-S-S, and then an E on the end.
Posse. Remember that for later. Good. Lovely.
Who wants to go into the mountains with me?
I'll bring my scones. They'll keep everyone well energized.
Oh, joy.
That sounds like a yes.
Do you want us to go with you and lead the way?
Well, yeah, otherwise I don't know where I'm going.
I mean, it's like up the mountain. There's only one path.
Okay. You
But-
should probably come anyway in case we encounter any creepy crawlies or something.
Yeah, I'm not saying that if they see you, they'll kill you, but my family's not exactly like, friendly.
Well, it's probably best you go at the front then.
I've learned that a smile can get you anywhere. I think we'll be fine.
I'm a big fan of you.
We'll be best friends.
I'm not.
Is there any spare spots going on this journey?
Well, sure, buddy.
Good.
I mean,
Don't touch.
Okay.
to be fair, how tall are you?
Very small.
You're like 3 foot tall, right?
Oh, shorter.
Okay, 2.5 foot tall.
Aye, about that.
2.5 foot tall. How the hell did you reach his shoulders?
Do you not need to roll a dexterity check for that?
Roll a dexterity saving throw, get out the way of the big lumbering furball. Why not?
I got a 6.
Oh, but it's a saving throw. 10.
10.
10. I mean, do you want to roll a grapple check on this?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. I'm a hugger. One thing you gotta learn about me. I'm a hugger. What am I adding to that?
Grapple checks, athletics.
Athletics. 8.
8.
You're in the clear.
You nimbly dodge out the way.
Yay.
Where you gone? Oh.
Right, well, if you're all ready, do you want to head out and we'll keep tidying up town, making sure it's ready for when you get back? And what we're looking for is allies, people who can help, and if they need help from us, maybe we can all come together on it.
So we're rounding up a bigger posse.
I mean, we're forming a rebellion against the cult, but if you want to keep using this posse word, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, rebellion mega posse. All right.
Yeah, rebellion mega posse.
Nobody touch my stuff when I'm away. All right.
They let you have stuff?
The towns are ruined, mate. What are you looking for?
I've got some real nice ruined stuff in the corner there. So up high over there. Don't touch it.
What is it?
Just some shapely rubble.
All right, we won't touch your shapely rubble.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll put a little fence around it. You know.
That's not necessary. Just don't touch it.
Yeah, but I need to tell them.
Oh yeah, fence would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I have to tell everyone about the
Yeah,
shapely
yeah,
rubble, and then
fence,
they'll
right.
want to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah,
shapely
it's
rubble, and
fine.
that'll just
Yeah,
make the whole thing
yeah, it'd be
complicated.
a
Can we
thing.
just go?
Yeah, that's probably best.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
All right, you are heading out of town to the north, and you're taking 2 dwarves with you.
Who knows any good walking songs?
suppose I'm a bard.
Yeah.
So I suppose technically
Bards traditionally play songs and music. Do you have an instrument, perchance, Bard?
I lift my instrument out of my bag, which I find is a
Saxophone?
saxophone. Lovely. It's a giant baritone sax. So it's twice the size of myself.
When you play it, it lifts you off the ground.
I start playing a low droning saxophone.
Have we got a low droning saxophone? I'm so sorry, guys. We haven't got a low droning saxophone prepared. That's so unprofessional. That's a shame. We'll have to make it with them. They didn't have any equipment because they were all slaves, but then I will have equipment, making our lives considerably easier. Good. You are heading your way up the mountain. As you walk up the mountain, you are walking in between a tree-lined path, very German woods sort of vibe to this thing. And the path itself is not paved or in any way marked out, apart from an area where trees have been cleared. And as you continue along this path, you note the tree line is starting to thin, but it hasn't completely cut out yet.
Are we seeing any wildlife?
You are seeing some wildlife in the woods, but you're both druids. Can you both make nature checks, please?
12.
Okay.
7.
7. You're both very able, experienced druids, and yet you do not notice anything special about this woodland at all.
I actually have the ability to communicate in a limited manner with plants. So,
You do. That is very correct.
could I just go up to one of these trees and be like, "Hey, buddy, what's the deal?"
Sure, I'll be a tree. Go on, let's have this conversation.
"Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
The tree sort of crackles slightly as the bark shifts underneath it.
Okay. Just wanted to check in, see how you and your tree brethren are doing. Any nasties we should be watching out for? Oh, that's a maybe. That's a hard maybe right there. I just want to make sure we're heading up to some of the mountain clans. How they doing? They good? Ooh. It doesn't sound like a good shrug, guys. It doesn't sound like it. I just wanted to say that you look lovely. And I hope you have a very pleasant day. And I'm gonna, if I find any beasties who are threatening you, I'm gonna kill them. All right, you have a swell day. Well, I got a lot. Well, I got a lot of information, guys. I'm not gonna just real swathes of pages of stuff. I can tell you. So we are heading in the right direction. There might be some nasties walking around, and we are heading in the right direction, as I said. And also, the clans may be okay, but may be in trouble.
We told you that before we left.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to confirm with the trees. You know, everyone's opinion's important.
Do you think talking to trees is normal?
Well, yeah, but like the tree that like doesn't move from where it is us. Yeah.
It's a tree right next to a mountain path. I'm sure it's seen a lot.
Yeah.
That seems plausible. Let's keep going, because we're getting quite bogged down in this tree thing. As you continue up the path, the tree line starts to thin out, but also the snow starts to build. Not doing each one, Chaz. As you continue up, the snow starts to build up. So where you were walking on moss or on dirt or on broken branches, there's now a slight crunch underfoot. I presume you're all wearing shoes. Are you wearing shoes?
Yeah.
You wear shoes, good.
Well, I hope so, because I'm wearing armor as well.
That makes sense.
It'd be silly to have a non-armored part of my body.
Well, your feet might be hooves. It's up to you. You make that choice now, Chaz. Commit to it for 98 hours.
It just seems like a bit of an effort to get horseshoes on all the time. Let's just go with normal feet.
Fine with that.
You are normal feet's very.
No, yeah, no, you're right there. Just human feet, humanoid feet.
Humanoid feet, lovely. So there's a crunch underfoot as the snow starts to form, and as you are crackling your way up, the trees are getting thinner, primarily because most of the branches are weighed down by snow and have snapped off. And there is the beginnings of cold in the air, a kind of icy breath floating around all of you. I need you all to make a perception check for me, please.
Oh, sure thing.
17.
Excellent.
That's a big fat 8.
8.
19.
19.
12.
12. Everyone above 10 I will allow to have seen this. Ahead of you, as the tree line is thinning... Ahead of you, as the tree line is thinning further, you start to see what looks like rock cairns, or various pieces of, if not worked, certainly specifically placed stone and rock alongside the sides of the path, which you're welcome to investigate. Apart from you, Kid Matt, who are wandering blithely down the middle of the path, whistling and talking to trees.
Boy, it's just a swell day.
It is a very pleasant day. Chris,
I'd like to investigate.
I would also like to investigate.
do you want to go to separate ones or the same one?
I think we should split up.
I thought we were becoming firm friends. I'm going to scrap this friendship bracelet I've been working on. That's a solid 30 minutes of embroidery. Ruined.
A single tear rolls down my cheek.
I pick it back up off the snow.
Hey!
Just like
Excellent.
brushing dirt off it frantically.
Well, it is snow,
Boy,
so
this is really crisp snow. I don't know. It's just real pure white crisp snow. Like a snow goes, this is top tier. It really is.
you know a lot about snow, do you?
Oh, I know so much about snow.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's off-white, and that's the end of the colors.
So you're investigating different cairns. You've gone to different cairns.
Yes.
Right. Both roll an investigation check, please.
12.
12, thank you.
14.
Plus
Plus 2.
16.
16, excellent. Well, we'll start with the lower number. The cairn in front of you. Rocks are stacked on top of each other. They appear to be stacked in a certain way, almost as if they are a marker or some kind of ritualized object. It's not just random.
That's some nice stonemasonry there. Very nice.
They've not been
Craftsmanship.
sort of crafted too heavily to fit together so much as piled on top at this point. As you look more closely, it looks like there are some markings on the rock, but you're struggling to make out too much detail about what it is. Do you speak Dwarvish?
Let's find out. No.
There are some writings on the stone that you cannot decipher. Frank,
Yes.
you rolled higher. And you're a dwarf.
No.
No, you're a gnome. That works too. And you're a gnome.
Not
as
all small people are the same, you know.
No, as in, yeah, that's fine.
Are any? We need to clarify. Are any of these rocks shapely?
Oh, interesting. Are these rocks shaped? I'm gonna roll for the rocks. Is that right with you?
Please.
Some of them are very shapely rocks.
I'm very excited.
Some of them are really disgusting rocks.
I'm less excited.
About half and half. This cairn, you've seen these before.
Oh.
They are way markers for dwarven clans, especially dwarven clans living in the mountains.
Okay.
Quite a lot of dwarves would live under the ground in well, mines is a strong word, but underground fortresses and layers where they're better protected. But some dwarves live out in the open, and those that do tend to work with nature and try and be a bit more connected with the landscape. Those that live on the outside tend to make these cairns to point in the direction of where things are. Do you speak Dwarvish?
Here, Jono, come here to me.
Eh?
What's all this we're writing about?
That says follow the path up to the guard hut, then turn left.
Cheers. What's the guard hut? What's a garden? Is this your family home? Is it or?
No, it moves because it's safer that way. But this one has been changed recently to show the way to go. Looks like it's dirty though. Django, come over here. Aye. What is that? Is that blood? Any of yous bleed like purple blood?
Do I bleed purple blood? Do I? No.
No, none of you do. None of you do. No. You.
Do you bleed purple?
Right. Let's be on our. Let's be
Maybe
cautious.
somebody stepped on a pansy or something and it just mixed with the snow and...
I love that upbeat attitude, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to go kill him again.
Now those are strong words. I feel like diplomacy is always the right way forward.
Oh, I do diplomacy. I diplomatically separate their head from the rest of their body.
Lavender certainly looks at you with newfound respect.
Right. Let's all be ready as we move forward to the hut because something ain't right. Are you all?
We'll head up to the...
Are you all going forward stealthily or sneaking
Super
forward?
stealthily.
Let's all roll stealth checks then.
Oh, let's see how I balls this
I'm
up.
going to wild shape into a bird.
What kind of bird?
Falcon.
What does your falcon look like?
No.
It's brown with like grey speckle.
A grey speckled falcon. Lovely. What would you like to do?
I just like to fly up and look around. See
You're
what I
flying
can see
ahead
from
to
the
have a
sky.
look.
Yeah.
Because you'll fly faster than they will sneak, so you'll be able to go a lot further than they do. In the meantime, what was your stealth check?
5.
5. Good start.
Got the broom out.
9.
9, even better.
18.
So basically, Frank walks ahead. I go, that's just some great sneaking.
Look at that finesse.
Some real top shelf sneaking, buddy.
As Frank steps forward,
Frank assumes he's put his saxophone away at this point.
Yeah. Frank, because he's a gnome, is able to very delicately and very gently almost balance on the snow so it doesn't crush beneath his feet. So he is very delicately stepping over the top of the snow, like an experienced, stealthy hunter looking to make his way forward and discover what's going on, when behind him, a gigantic dragonborn and a gigantic furbolg just
You're
smash
doing
their
great,
way.
buddy.
Do you mind waiting back while I do this?
I thought we were friends.
Fine, let's just go.
I mean, we can hang back, but you're gonna have two very upset buddies on your hands.
Just come with me.
All right.
All right. You make your way forward as you're flying up overhead. Can you roll me a perception check, please? I think you get advantage on that because you're a bird.
21.
There we go. 0 to 20, 20 being the best. 21 being you've done better than possible. You have flown quite high, but you've also, as you are a druid and very aware of how to spend your time in animal form, You're also aware that today is a crisp, clear day, and thus you will have a perfect view from high up. So you fly relatively high to stay out of harm's way and get a very good view of the overlying landscape. The trees are still relatively thick, but as they thin out towards the tree line, there is a very obvious squat stone building that you can fairly assume is dwarven made because it is squat. And as you look at it and fly around it, you can see that there are creatures moving within, but you can't see what they are unless you get a lot closer.
Sure, why not?
You
I'm sure
swoop.
there's very good reasons why not, but you know.
Do you try and fly stealthily?
Yes.
Please roll a stealth check.
Okay. Do birds get advantage on
No.
Okay. Well, that's a 4.
Cool. You swoop down towards the squat building and, for reasons known only to you, decide to fly straight past a window while going As you do so and look in, you see a group of 5 different types of humanoid, like yourselves and your party, look up in horror at the window in shock as a bird going goes flying past. They seem to have various, what look almost like dogs at first glance with them as you fly past, but something about them looks hunched, deformed, weird, and totally unpalatable, but you only get a glimpse as you fly past. But they're now very aware that there's a really angry falcon flying around. Yeah.
That falcon's furious.
Oh, can I look back around and try and find the rest of my party?
You rolled a 21 on your perception, I'll let you easily do that.
Okay.
What you note is that Frank is doing a wonderful job stealthing his way through, but the other two are not.
Are is Jono following us as well?
Jono and Django are both following us. You can't talk in bird form because you are a bird.
I can see.
I have limited communication with animals.
Oh, interesting!
Yeah, like, I'm aware there's another druid and he was talking to a tree, so
Yeah.
I'll just, like, perch on, like, Frank's
Not
head.
I'm tiny.
Yeah, so now she's eye height.
Can I
Just-
use my limited communication with animals?
Sure, you can only communicate in a limited fashion.
Hey there, buddy. Did you see anything? There's
Yes.
Well, good for you. Did you see any? Are they friendly?
No.
Thanks very much. Oh boy, here I go, killing again.
Listen, maybe we can make them our friends with a cheerful song and some rosemary scones.
I'm definitely gonna make them our friends by killing them.
Can we?
Creepy
Nicest thing they
dogs.
can do for us.
Dogs!
Creepy.
Oh,
dogs.
creepy dogs, apparently.
Every dog deserves love.
Jono,
No.
can I ask Jono if his family were known for keeping creepy dogs?
No.
So probably isn't your family then?
There were some creepy dog-like things in the town when we were clearing it up yesterday, but luckily they were all blown up before they could do any real damage.
They
Looked pretty
blow up
nasty. though.
dogs?
Well-
Innocent dogs?
No, I mean, these dogs looked like they were sort of, like, half-deformed little things with
That's very
mean-
rude.
really unpleasant looking.
Does
Does
your
that sound
mother
like
know
the
you
ones
talk-
you saw?
Yes.
They have very spindly long arms and long legs. as
Listen,
you
that
read some
doesn't
of
mean
them.
they don't deserve love and affection and a good owner to
Oh.
feed them and give them
I tell
a
you what,
fireside.
if they come running down the path and start attacking us, you can try and make friends with them first, alright? How about that?
Yes.
I'm like flapping my wings to
I'm just
try and
gonna-
interrupt this little.
I'm just gonna go ahead and draw my greatsword as we advance further up the path.
And just say, no dwarves, and then take off again.
Yeah, and the people in there aren't dwarves either, so it's the dogs and non-dwarf people.
Right, so should we try and be stealthy? I guess that's the best way to
Oh
go forward.
boy, I'm real good at that.
Can everyone roll perception checks, please?
Do I still get advantage?
19.
Perception.
11.
10.
18.
As you walk up the path, you still being very stealthy, I'm gonna allow. Ahead of you, you hear voices. You hear not shouting, but just voices in the wood. There clearly are a group of people now out and about, looking to see what all the fuss is about, because a falcon flew by their window, going in a rather aggressive way. You can hear voices, You know they're somewhere in the wood around you, maybe on the path, but you don't know quite what's happening.
Hey, sounds like they're lost. Should I shout to get their attention?
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably not.
I can foresee no negative consequences to this plan.
I can only see potential friendship from this exchange.
I feel I'm outnumbered since I've lost my other dire friend so far away.
What do you think, fellas? To the dwarves.
I say we stand our ground. Get them to come to us.
Sure thing. And I'm like, hey there, guys. Want to
Hello.
come make some new
Hello.
friends? I'm gonna hold my attack action.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Do you guys form a little circle?
Little semicircle.
I'm just circling, just going, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea.
Would any of you guys like to be particularly on the outside of said circles so that you'll be, the first to be attacked, or on the inside of the circle if, say, you're a spellcaster and don't want to be attacked? Looking at you, druid.
I'm gonna go on the outside of the circle
Yeah.
and still holding my attack action.
Sure.
I'm gonna jump on his shoulders, get a bit more height.
Lovely. I'm fine with that. Are you?
That's also super easy for me to do because I've got
Yes, you're-
one size larger carrying capacity.
You do, because you're a blue bovine.
Yeah.
Frank, would you like to have something ready to go? Something ready the moment you start seeing movement in the tree line?
Yeah, go on, I'll take my dagger out. No, my rapier.
Your rapier?
Aye.
Mm-hmm. You don't want something at a distance?
Do I? Do I have something at a distance?
I mean, to be fair, once I wade in, you're coming right with me, buddy. So.
So you can have your rapier ready, that's absolutely fine.
I'll
no
take my
problem
rapier
at all.
out, yeah.
You're currently in bird form, so you can't do or cast spells, you can just watch. You can just watch. And what would you like to have ready, Duffy?
Well, the only equipment I actually have is my handy rolling pin for making dough. I don't have any weapons. I mean, in a pinch it'll do as a club, but
Would you like to prepare a spell or something like that?
Out of character, I totally love you.
I mean the two cantrips that might be useful in this situation is maybe gust, just to push them back a little bit with some wind.
Push them back with some wind. That's all this morning so far. I'm happy with that.
boy.
Good. Right. Okay. If you all want to have those sort of ready to go, so the moment that you can see something in the tree line, you are ready.
Oh, I'm gonna divine smite something today.
Yeah, exactly. Through the woods. Slowly at first, you hear snarling, scraping. And as you all look off to the sides, suddenly out of the woods, bounding, are coming these hideous, deformed, small dog-like creatures. They have long, spindly arms, long, spindly legs. Their faces are massive, spikes and teeth and mouths. You're not quite sure where the mouth begins and ends. They look, for all intents and purposes, like absolutely deformed, horrific dogs.
Oh god.
They are running at you from all sides and will be running in to attack all of you momentarily. Behind them, you can just see coming out of the tree line various men and women in robes, and they appear to be getting ready to cast spells at you and to attack you.
I have a quick question.
Of course.
Are these dogs classified as undead or fiends?
No.
Cool, thank you. That's all I needed.
Right. Would you like to roll initiative, please?
Yes. But I held my action and everything.
I know you get a
I'm so bad at initiative rolls. Okay. 19.
19.
14?
14.
There's not a plus, isn't there?
So you add your dexterity mod. Yeah.
So 16.
Sorry, I shouldn't say.
11.
11.
17.
17. Jesus, good round. Was it 14?
16.
16. Right, so maths bit.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
You don't always have to go kill.
Always be random. Right, lovely. Can we have the music slightly more battly? Thank you. They are racing towards you, running at full pelt. Right. As they bound towards you, slavering, jumping, you will all get a chance to attack them before we get into initiative, because they are jumping at you. So you will get, because you're ready for them, you'll get a chance to lash out at them before they can do anything, and then we'll dive into initiative. So, Frank,
Yes.
You're on
as
my
one
head.
comes running and leaps straight at Kidmat's head, what are you doing?
Attack with the rapier.
Yeah, do it.
One in,
Make an
one in.
attack roll.
This one?
No.
20, okay.
20 dice.
Ah!
6.
6. No.
Oh,
As-
no.
As I think as Kidmat probably starts his swing, you twisted out of the way,
Yes.
trying desperately to stab but not getting there. Kidmat, start your swing, please.
Yes, and can I divine smite this as well?
Absolutely. Do
Thank you very
how many
much.
are you using?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Come on. That is a 22.
Yeah, you hit it. You absolutely hit it. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage. Here's where the maths part comes in.
Yeah.
So that's 13 damage on the greatsword hit. Let's do the divine. And that's an additional 12 radiant damage.
This all feels a little violent.
Well, allow me, if you will. While you man to try and stab over his head and get swung out of the way, Kidmat's gigantic sword just comes out in an arc in front of him and just bisects this thing, leaving it him in half, and just almost explodes in midair, shattering the area with purple blood as it sprays out over all of you, and Kidmat just finishes his swing with it behind. You've taken down 1 out of 6.
That's a bad dog. A very bad dog.
Excellent.
That could be a nature versus nurture problem, not inherent in the beast itself.
Dottie, what would you like to do?
I would like to. Oh boy.
I mean, it's literally all mouths. I think this might be a nature issue. Go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a thunderclap, which basically is gonna just a lightning bolt at anything around me, so everyone has to succeed a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Can everyone please make a Constitution saving throw?
Except me.
Except you.
In the interest
Oh, no,
bonus,
you're
would I
not
get
flying.
disadvantage because I'm in the sky and that's where the lightning's coming from?
Hang on, what the range on it's very low. It wouldn't affect you. You're
It's
flying up.
100
Wouldn't affect
feet.
you.
It's 100 feet.
The noise is 100 feet.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So you'll hear it, but it might not be.
What was your Constitution
Listen,
saving
I'm
throw?
a
11.
3.
3. You're a bird.
11 free, you're a bird.
I think with a slight sun, you cast a spell. Immediately, both of you are thrown about 5 feet back and fall face first into the snow. Do roll the
My
damage, please.
saxophone!
Should I roll the damage for
My face!
everyone? 5.
5 points of damage to both of you, I'm
So just
afraid.
mark it off.
You do note that the 2 dwarven men standing next to you just. They don't
Listen.
even react much at all.
Listen, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, and I was panicked in the moment.
At which point, both of them just turn to the 2 dogs attacking them and try and swing for them, but apparently you've damaged their inner ear because they both try and swing and just miss entirely as these 2 dogs both leap on them and start fighting away. You 2 are on the ground.
Yep.
Another 2 of these who are just still alive are going to leap onto you. What is your AC?
15.
Oh, I beat that. What is your AC?
I don't know what AC is.
Sorry, armor class.
13.
13 didn't beat that. As you land on the ground and roll out of the way, this dog sort of comes down and tries to bite you. It's all its jaws snapping near your head, but you combat roll out of the way through the snow. However, Kidmat, you're a very big furbog, and as you land on the ground, suddenly something you feel it's tugging at your thigh, and it feels like it's biting away at you. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
21.
Yeah, you're not affected by the poison. But you do take 6 points of piercing damage as your lower calf is torn to shreds. I do apologise.
Oh, I needed that for walking.
Yeah.
Can I cure him?
Not yet.
Okay.
What are you doing, bird person?
You
It has been a difficult season.
Are we into initiative now?
No, we're still doing the surprise round.
You said that the casters, did you say they're at a tree line?
The casters are a good 10-15 feet away from this, slowly coming out the tree line. They are slower than the grooves.
Okay, could I land on like a sturdy branch in the tree line
Absolutely.
and then drop my bird?
Sure. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please? 5. The bird lands on the branch. Turns into a tiefling. The branch snaps. You go falling straight
I
down.
did specify sturdy.
Yeah, you failed with a dexterity saving throw. It's 4 points of damage as you hit the ground on your rump.
Oh.
landing right in front of a cultist who looks at you and sees you.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
Lovely. Snarling, he pulls a scimitar and leaps at you and tries to attack you. What is your armor class?
Well, it says 14 with shield, so I assume I have a shield?
You do have a shield, yes.
Okay, 14.
It doesn't matter because I rolled a 19. So the scimitar slashes out. You try and bring your shield up to block, but you don't have enough time as you take 4 points of slashing damage across the side. The other cultists, seeing that this is going relatively well so far, are running forward to get close to you to attack, but we're not going to get there until we enter initiative. So, Kimmat, what would you like to do?
Can I use half my movement to stand up?
You may absolutely use half movement to stand up. You currently have one of these dog horrible things attached to your calf.
Well, let's do the Divine Smite again, because that worked so well last time.
Describe how you're going to get it off you with a divine smite, please.
Hey.
No. Okay, cool.
I'm essentially using it like a giant bladed rolled up newspaper.
Well, make your attack roll with your shotgun.
Bad dog, bad dog.
Modified 20.
Yeah, it's it. Roll the damage.
Okay. Reroll the 1.
Yeah.
That is 9 slashing.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 radiant damage.
I'd like you to imagine this moment, Chaz, if you will, for me. You are going, yep, off, get off, and as you tap it on the nose lightly with your rolled-up newspaper gigantic greatsword, it just goes flying off your leg like a taser shot, and just goes skidding through the snow and just stops a good 10 feet away.
Now that I've just killed 2 of these in one hit, can I look around and be like, now think about this, fellas. Are you sure you want to do this?
Lavender, what would you like to do?
This guy's still over
You are
there
sat
with
on your
the-
rump next to a cultist who has just cut you with his scimitar.
Okay, I'm gonna thunder wave him.
Cool, go for it. What saving throw is that for me?
I think it's Constitution, but I'm not sure that the damage.
Oh, he fails that.
I rolled a 5. So
Rolled a 5 on what?
I don't.
It's a saving throw. I failed it. You roll the damage.
It's
Spells can normally, you'd either make an attack roll against someone or they make a saving throw against you doing it. So that's a kind of easy rules breakdown.
before.
So you roll that damage.
How much damage is it?
Thunder wave.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Well, it's a level 2.
It's a level 2 spell, so it'd be 2
Oh,
to...
sorry, it's a level 1.
Is it written on there? Should be written on there.
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell.
No, how much damage it is.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Really? It doesn't say.
Just because you didn't believe me.
I'll find it. Damage on Thunder Wave.
3. I think it's like, yeah.
3d6. 3d6.
What?
That's 2 1s and a 2.
Now, Thunderwave is within 30 feet, right?
Yep.
Ah, jeez.
Can you... 15-foot cube, never mind, doesn't affect you.
Oh, thank God.
So the cultist ahead of you, he blinks as you thunderwave and just gets knocked back a little, but does nowhere near as much damage as you thought it would.
Okay, can I use a cantrip as a bonus action?
If it's a cantrip bonus action spell, yes, which I don't think you have.
Okay,
So
then.
no.
Okay, then I'll just stand up, and then that'll be my turn.
Okay, that is no problem.
Stand up.
Stand up for your right. Frank, what would you like to do?
How far away?
Oh, that's cool.
You've currently combat rolled out of the way of
Yeah.
the Gru that was trying to attack you, which is still very close to you.
I'm gonna use Shatter, please.
Oh! If you've seen Stranger Things, this. Go.
So,
What's saving
So,
throws for me?
so it's a
10-foot radius sphere from my point, 60-foot range. Every creature in a 10-foot radius sphere from chosen point makes a con throw, 3d8 thunder damage on failed save.
How many can he get in one 10-foot sphere?
He can get 2 in a 10-foot sphere. They both rolled very well, but you can still roll the damage to take half.
Okay, which
So it's
3d8.
3d8, so 3
Which
days.
is the green one.
2.
Yep.
1.
Hey!
Wow.
And a 5.
8. 4. The two near you are suddenly the whole area just shatters violently, and you hear a sound like glass breaking throughout it. But at this point, they both seem to twitch slightly and taken some damage, but they are knocked down from the hit.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I don't want to be critical, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Dottie, what would you like to do?
Because I'm a dragonborn,
Yes.
I can use an action to exhale lightning,
Yes, you can. That is absolutely correct.
which is pretty cool.
Yes.
So that's in a 5 times 30-foot line.
Yes,
So
that is a
anyone-
5 foot by 30 foot line of lightning you're about to expel from your mouth.
So anyone in that 30-foot line gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw to try and jump out of that.
Well, at this point, considering you have 2 dwarves on one side of you, your 2 allies on the other, your friend out in the woods dealing with other stuff, where would you like to aim it? There are more of these grooves all around you and more cultists. You could probably hit 2 or 3 of these various different people if you aim it up right.
Towards them. Just
Towards them.
Away from the people with me.
Okay.
Towards the people.
I'm
against
fine with
me.
that. I'm making 3 dexterity saving throws. One of them is a natural 1. So, roll the damage, please.
4.
4 points of damage.
Wasn't great.
No, but as the lightning pours out of your mouth, as you lean back and just aim, and a lightning bolt just crackles out of your mouth and snakes through the woods and smashes into a tree, setting it alight. As it does so, it cuts through 2 of the Gru and 1 of the cultists. The cultist and 1 of the Gru look absolutely awful, but 1 of them just explodes. And with that, we have to finish this Our Adventurers Wanted. I'm afraid mid-combat. Oh,
Not the trees.
not the trees.
The trees are my friends.
Thank you so much for coming. Yay! Thank you very much. So, do feel free to drop back in to see where the adventure goes. When we're reading that.
Can someone tell Can also somebody tell me how this pans out?
If you'd like to stay for the next hour, you need to go out and buy a ticket from the box office at the front and then come back in again, because we need to reset every hour. And do please join us whenever you feel like for the rest of the adventure. It is 100 hours of adventure running every day of the festival until the very bitter end. Last year we did 250. This year is 100, so we're all feeling like this is much easier. If you like what we're doing but can't necessarily come here, that's totally fine. We live stream on twitch.tv, which is being broadcast through that camera back there. Hello, Twitch stream! Nice to see you. We also live tweet on Adventures 250, where our stage managers try and write the story as it happens, as it goes along, so you can follow it like an interactive novel. And if you did enjoy the show, please do spread the word. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or just face-to-face with... Why is this written out? It's almost obvious. We have an... This is probably why. This is probably why. That's very fair.
Oh, jeez.
We also have a
Somebody's in there.
Patreon page, if you know what that is. It's a place where you can patronize artists to allow them to do what they do. If you like what we're doing, do check us out on there. It's again Adventurers Wanted, and do join in. We do marathon events like these, monthly one-offs, one-off gaming, open gaming events. We'll try D&D for the first time. This is very much our outreach program. Thank you so much to our players, our wonderful players here today, who may be joining us for a bit longer, maybe going now. Most of you do other stuff in the Fringe, totally fairly, and if you'd like to spend a minute or two telling us about that now is your chance.
I've written and act in a one-man play called My Left Nut, which is the true story of the time I had testicular surgery when I was a teenager. It's a comedy, but it's also sad and about my dad dying and my mum and all that. It's very lovely. Just finished touring it around Ireland, and now we're on Summer Hall at 1:15, so I shall be shooting off to perform that now.
Excellent.
I'm also shooting off to do a play, actually. I'm in a play at Pleasant Stone at 12:25. It's called Courtroom Play, a courtroom play. And the best way to describe it, it's Legally Blonde meets Hot Fuzz. It's probably the best way to describe it. Probably the best way to describe that play. Also, if anyone's up for some late night laughs, at 10:10 at night every day, I'm in a sketch act. We're called Dirty White Boys. Our show this year is called Manners. It's just an hour of sketches. We aren't going to redefine what the zeitgeist of comedy is, but if you want to laugh hard for an hour, this is the show for you. It's also pay what you want, so you can come in for free.
Also, if you don't know, it's Dirty White Boys. It's on the hat. Always be Brandon. I appreciate that.
Let's be Brandon.
Yeah.
I will be doing guest slots here and there at kind of a lot of shows. I don't have a show. If you're interested in seeing some performance poetry, just find me on Facebook. I'm Catherine Wilson Poetry. If you happen to live in Edinburgh, I also exist outside of the month of August. So, so you can come and see me anytime.
This whole bit of the country is null space for other months of the year. We know. We're aware.
I'm far less interesting, and I'm not in anything at the Fringe, but you can feel free to follow me on Twitter. My username is @morelongstories.
There we go. Thank you ever so much, guys. We do have to ask you to vacate the premises now, but do come back and join us again. Much appreciated. Thank you.